What's up, everybody? Good morning. We are live and ready to go. Yet another range here. Overnight. And looks like our ATR is back up. Almost 8 points per bar here. Good morning, Roberta. Good to see you today. I am not going to lie to you guys. I slept through my alarm, man. I usually get up with plenty of time to, do some exercising, some stretching, some reading. Get my head space ready for the market. I'm telling you what, man, I just rolled out of bed. Oh, man. Mike, good morning. Hey, Matt. Hey, Paul. Fernando, Angie. Good to see you guys. Hey, Squid. Yes, the market is closed tomorrow, Mike. You are correct. I don't think Monday, though. Let me double check that. Yeah, no, it's not closed on Monday. All right, so as far as the action today, it looks like we got a little, well, obviously in a range, zoom out here. We are inside yesterday's action. We have a pretty clear overnight low, overnight high. We haven't really gone anywhere. So there's no real trend overnight. It's important to note, so far we have range structure and all trends have played out. We had this uptrend that played out with the break in new high, downtrend played out with the break in a new low. So we have no trends in play as we go in towards the open, save for this tiny little uptrend here. So not a whole lot going on. News-wise, ooh, there's a little uptick in volume. News-wise, we don't really have much. We already got through unemployment claims. And apparently there's some sort of European news or ECB press conference. Doesn't look like that has done much to the market. And now that's it. We have some Fed speak today, but it's just bar. So I don't know. What's he gonna say to move the market? We already had Powell talk yesterday. So yeah, I don't think we have really much catalyst today. Very unlikely that any news comes out. Plus tomorrow's a market holiday, so likely should be a pretty uneventful trading day. However, you never know, right? The market can do anything, can do whatever the heck it wants, so we'll be ready for that. That little uptrend's not getting any juice. on the old Nasdaq. Same deal. A lot lower yesterday than it did on ES, but still more or less an inside day here. No direction on the overnight action. Move up already played itself out. Move down already played itself out. Actually, it didn't, technically. We had this move down, break, never quite made a new low. Interesting. Dash cam disaster. I would advise you to take some time, go read Apex's FAQ. Their help section has answers to every single question you could possibly answer. I don't know why you would place an OCO order in a funded account. I don't know what it depends on what you're using it for, right? That just means one cancels another. So it just means two orders that when one is filled, the other one cancels. So yeah, I mean, there'd be a lot of situations where you could use that and it just is what it is. That's like, can I use the brake pedal when I drive a car? Like, well, yeah, I mean, but depends when. I'm assuming you're trying to do the eval passing strategy video that I taught. If that is what you're getting at, no, you cannot do that in a funded account. All right, we have 45 seconds to the open here. Yeah, I believe, Mike, that you can. They used to outlaw that. Again, an OCO order in itself is not a bad thing, right? It's just how you use it. You have to manage your risk one way or the other. So it can't be all or nothing. That's the main thing. Go on Apex website, read all about their risk parameters. And as long as you're adhering by those, you should be fine. Good morning, Neil. Good morning, Bill. Yes, sorry I didn't see you earlier. When was the STU? All right, market is open. Still do not have a direction. Nasdaq looks like it wants to make a new low to that downtrend. Yes, has already made a new low. We'll see where it goes next. All right, NQ pushing down. Got the new low of that downtrend. Bring an ES with it. Good morning, Bruno. S&P a little bit reluctant to drop with the Nasdaq here, kind of finding support at this area. But either way, we do not have an active trend that we can go off of. We need to be patient, let the market actually do something here. Both these downtrends have a breaking new low. We would expect the bulls pretty soon to attempt to bounce the market. This is just an area where we need to let prices develop a little bit. Could be headed to the overnight low, marking that area out. That'd be the first key area that we need to look at on both symbols. Nasdaq's getting pretty close already. Yeah, still has a ways to go. Hey, Tom. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. At the beach till Sunday. Man, that sounds nice. That does sound nice. Yes, public service announcement for everyone. The market is closed tomorrow, so I'm not going to stream, obviously. You know, unless you want me to just sit here and we could talk about something else. No, yeah, no stream tomorrow. Gonna be taking some time off. Suggest you do the same. Also a good time, you know, catch up on studying. Study some charts, work on, do some, what do you call it? Simulated trading, back testing, etc. Use that time wisely, or just get away from the markets. That's always a good option as well. All right, if this keeps going down, we might have to consider some sort of wider pattern. Perhaps this downtrend played out here, and this is something entirely new. That could be the case. It's going to take a while before I switch to that. This is still very range-like, very choppy. Definitely not a strong trend in the least. ND, tomorrow is Good Friday. Friday before Easter, so that's why the market's closed. One of the market holidays every year. Buyers keep getting shut down, man. Every little bullish candle getting reversed. Still waiting on a bounce here. Come on, man. Let's do something here, market. I'd prefer to see a bounce up. That would be the best from a price action perspective. Hoping for that. NQ really not looking like it wants to bounce at all. And again, that overnight low is right below it. So it might just get there before we do anything else. Another green bar for S&P. See if it actually goes anywhere this time or it gets shut down yet again. For those who have not heard, Apex is doing another sale. 80% off until the end of the month. If y'all want to take advantage about it. Take advantage of it. It also comes with all the goodies that we've been used to on these most recent sales. 1 day to pass. The larger accounts are discounted, priced the same as 50Ks. Discounted activation fee once you pass. So all around, really, really solid deal. Link is below. Melvin, isn't that a second entry short? 936. Let's see. It is, Senor Melvin. However, we don't have an active trend. So the first check mark, and I do have a trading checklist, by the way, for all the Discord members. There is a trading checklist for all the setups that I take. So you can literally see, okay, we need this, this, and this, and you can use it as a checklist. The first thing on the checklist is having an active trend. If you want to take a short, you need a second entry short, you need a downtrend that is in play. We do not currently have a downtrend that is in play. No, Melvin, it doesn't matter that the market just opened. It's just that we don't have a downtrend that is in play. We had one right here, but it had a break and a new low. That's when you need to stop looking for shorts, and we would expect the market to bounce, which it is starting to do now. So you don't want to take a short when a trend has already played out, because it is more likely to bounce in the other direction. So again, those trading checklists available to all the Discord members. Link is below for that. Super helpful. Yeah, to be able to have an edge right in front of you, have something that you can mark off before you're taking a trade. Know you have the best chance of success. All right, we are monitoring this move up. We'll see how legit it is. How legitimate buyers really are today. If this thing gets whacked down right away and we continue lower, we're going to have to look at a wider downtrend. Right now, it looks pretty decent. All right, so that little uptrend already has a break. Nasdaq is really not looking good below the EMA. So this is when, if we make a new low here, we're going to have to think about some sort of wider downtrend pattern, or maybe we're just settling into a nasty range. I don't know. Either way, there's nothing currently that has a good chance of succeeding if we trade it. So still got to be patient here. And as I mentioned earlier, since there's a market holiday tomorrow, no news today, very likely that we have a dull day in the market. So I'm already mentally prepared for that. Not going to be chasing anything. I already know that the chances of a really nice trend day are very slim today. So yeah, only really probably the first few hours of today are going to be any good. By the time this afternoon rolls around, if we haven't started a trend by then, pretty much not going to. Looks like yet again somewhat finding support. Not looking as good on NQ for the bulls. This little bounce up did not get any legs. Immediately got smacked down to a new low. So I think I'm going to be looking at this wider downtrend here. Something like that fits pretty well. Now, of course, this all goes with the caveat that we are very close to a key level. So not going to be taking a short if we bounce off of the key level. I would need to see either a break and retest or get a short along the way. Very much sideways action here on ES. On NQ, I'd consider the short. We got one pullback to the EMA, one little rejection, maybe. Depends on if we go lower than this bar. Nope. Perhaps not. But yeah, I'm looking for the short here. So looking for the EMA to reject twice. I'd consider taking that short. Hey, Michael, good morning. Oh, dang. Whoa. What do we got going on here? I'm looking for news. That was definitely a news-like candle there. Or maybe just a weird misprint. Either way, that was our first attempt lower. Back on ES, monitoring this little uptrend. It's looking pretty good. I'd consider a long. Want to get out of this whole congestion area, but if we do, this is looking like a decent uptrend. See us get two legs back and a move up like so. This little uptrend already losing steam a little bit. Actually, no. You could shift it a little bit. Looks like it's still active. If you're paying attention, from the bottom of the wick to the body of the first swing, still looks active. Still looks active. Little break and new high here. This buy-in pressure not looking very convincing here. After this has a little break and new high, let's see if the sellers step up. NQ has a little break and new high. I'd be interested in a push down below the EMA and a lower high setup to take a short. Okay, here's our push down. Again on NQ, be looking for that lower high. Not a whole lot of conviction on either side. But notice, hey, we still got an insanely high ATR. At least pretty big compared to where the market usually is, 6 points per bar. Usually 4 or 5 is like, okay, the market's moving today. But yeah, this is compared to where it has been, this feels small, but it's not small. Oh, is today OPEX day? Man, oh man. That makes today even weirder. Yes. Yep. Does indeed look like it's today. Good call, Tom. SS. No, it is not a custom ATR indicator. Just native to NinjaTrader. Every trading platform has an ATR indicator. If they don't, you should definitely get a new platform. Pushing up on the moving average yet again. So that short's not looking great on NQ. But on ES, yeah, I mean, this is basically just like a really nasty looking range. Here we're getting some movement. EMA is holding yet again. If we had a solid uptrend, this would be a good looking second entry long, right? Pullback, one attempt up, second pullback, bullish bar. But we're in the middle of the range. This uptrend already looks like it may have had a break in a new high. This is looking more news related than anything. I'm still looking at the oh, you know what? I do not have my news feed up right now. That is why, or it's not updating. So there's probably been some news that I was not aware of. Not pulled up now. Another down tick. Pretty much every bar is getting reversed in either direction right now. And without any solid news, this may be the fate for the day, just kind of chopping around. All right, NQ dropping down. If this turns around into a really bullish bar, I think I might take it. Possibility of a wider uptrend, but no, it's not. So original thesis of a downtrend is looking legitimate. NQ has that overnight low very close here. We still have not really got a setup to take, unfortunately. Maybe, pardon me, if we get a little lower high right here, I could consider that, something along those lines. Another bull bar on ES. Really tempting setup wise if we had more of a clear bias. Still just chopping around right here. The EMA is holding, so we are more bullish than bearish. Keeps creeping higher, but this still does look very much sideways in here. Not really gone anywhere in the last 20 minutes. All right, starting to drop down there. NQ, very close to that new low. And then below that is the overnight low. So that would be the first key level we're looking at. Getting a little bit of momentum to the downside. Sellers are actually looking pretty interesting here. ES, we have quite a ways to get to that overnight low. We'd first have to contest with this range low, which is basically the opening price, more or less. NQ dancing around that low. Still has not quite made it yet. Javi asking for a possible fail breakout setup. Yeah, I mean, ideally for a fail breakout, you want a really confirmed range. We don't have that too much here. You know, we do have a couple touches at this low, but no consistent highs. Plus, Nasdaq looks more bearish, so I wouldn't say this is a super solid range to try to fade. But it could happen. I'd probably wait for a little bit additional confirmation, like a higher low after we have a failed breakout, something along those lines. Getting a pop here on ES. Still have not really got any news to speak of. A little bit of a downtrend here on ES. We might consider a short here if the moving average holds a couple times. But alas, getting a pop instead and having some V-shaped reversals back and forth now. And another V-shaped reversal. What do you know, guys? Yes, Melvin, very choppy. Definitely agree with you there. This is a no trade zone for sure. Donation zone for sure. Look at that. Another reversal. I would say we're more likely to go down than up here, especially with Nasdaq having a downtrend that needs a new low. It seems to me like we're at least going to have one flush to the downside. Whether it follows through or not, that's a different question. But it's hard to say when it's going to happen. We don't really have a clean setup for it yet. There, we're getting it. S&P coming down to the bottom of the range. Nasdaq finally, hasn't got a new low yet, but it's so close. Looks like it's going to. Would be crazy if it didn't at this point. No follow through. Put in a bullish bar there, but yeah, like someone was asking, would we be looking for a fail breakout here? Meaning, would we be looking for a long down here? I would say no at this point, because overall we have been trading down. High, lower high, lower high, low, lower low. This is generally going down. So whichever way direction we go into a range is likely the direction we'll break out of it. So if we would have had some movement up here, would have for sure looked for a short, but down here, a buy is less likely. That's more when we would expect the range to actually conclude in the direction. With that said, still open to the possibility if we get a really strong bullish bar here and then maybe a higher low, I'd consider taking that for a long. Okay, there is, I believe, a new low of the day on S&P. And the next level after that would be the overnight low. But let's see if this range low can break and get a retest. NQ downtrend is officially played out. Move down, break new low. I would say it's likely to come a little bit lower to actually test this overnight area. But then from there, we could reasonably expect the bulls to take over and try to bounce things. If we get a really bullish bar here, that would be the failed breakout for any of you adventurous, aggressive traders. Looks more likely to continue down to me. NQ reaching for that overnight low. All right, well, that failed breakout did work. So, you know, again, it's more aggressive. If you're a more aggressive trader, not a bad one to take. It did have a pretty small risk, but again, because we have an overall downtrend leading up into this range, again, the most likely breakout that actually succeeds of the range is going to be to the downside. So I'm not really interested in trading against that. But would have worked for a scalp. Consolidating here on that range support. Okay, and there we're breaking lower. Watch this key level on NQ, that overnight low. Oops. Watch for that to break. If it does, then we'll watch it to hold as resistance and we can start considering shorts. S&P broke that range low, so this is a new low of day. And then we'd be looking at that overnight low for S&P as the next level. So watching this possibility right now. Another bullish bar here. Another possible failed breakout. Ooh, getting whippy down here. Very hard to identify a larger downtrend here on S&P just because it's so choppy. Still looks to me like this downtrend's played out for the time being. And NQ has officially touched the overnight low. Is not breaking below it yet, though. There we go. Below the overnight low. Now looking at, what is this? That's the low from Monday. We already broke that, so not too much of a key level anymore. Yesterday's low is quite a ways down. That'd be the next thing we'd look at. And can we get this all in a larger downtrend? Perhaps. That doesn't look too bad on the Nas. I guess we could attempt to do that on ES. It's just so choppy, man. Does not look like a wide downtrend, but we'll see. Keep that in the back of your mind. But yeah, we're going to need some more confirmation on all this, guys. This is not great price action. As long as we keep staying below those key levels, look short. So if we continue hold the bottom of the range, look short. If we break this one, continue to look short. Really no reason to get long in this market just yet. So yeah, that's probably going to do it for the week here on YouTube at least. Again, no trading tomorrow, so enjoy some time off. Still will trade the next several hours in Discord. I think there's still a chance for some decent setups here, especially looking to the downside, especially on Nasdaq, as this channel is looking pretty decent. So could be looking for a short here pretty soon. Thank you all for hanging out with me. Appreciate y'all. See you this coming week. Have a great weekend. I'll catch you next time. Later.